Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Ishan Isha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Satat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudodaye Pushpanvatau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Grantera Arambha Kori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tine Rasmarana Hai Vighana Vinashana Anayasa Saphal Nija Vanchita Purana Guru Vigor Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalayi Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto, Adi-lila, Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, Adi-lila, Chapter 2. Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vastu Nirdesh. And in the last text, that is text number 22, we discuss in great detail why is Krishna the Supreme Lord? Is there any proof? Is there any difference in Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? No, they're the same. He is not an expansion, he is not a Prabhava or Vilasa. He is Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that Supreme Lord. Saite Govinda Sakshat Chaitanya Gosai Jivata Nistarite Aicha Dayalu Aranai. There is no one more merciful than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That same Krishna is Sri Chaitanya Gosai. Now, let's move on to the next verse, talking about Bhagavan, text 23. Paravyomete Vaise Narayana Nama Sadashvarya Purna Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavana. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Narayana, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in 6 opulances. He is the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Goddess of Fortune. Hare Krishna. So, we have discussed this point multiple times, the 6 opulances, Shat Aishwarya, coming here as well, the 6 opulances. Unlimited wealth, unlimited beauty, unlimited fame, unlimited strength, unlimited knowledge. In spite of having all these unlimited oceans and oceans and of these qualities, unlimited renunciation. So the Lord is the epitome of these qualities. Paravyomete. So we have discussed those qualities multiple times, so I guess we'll keep moving to the next verse, text 24. Someone want to read this one?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I?
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, devotees, Thandar Pranam, our blessed Śrīla Prabhupada. Veda Bhagavata Upanishads Agama Purna Tattva Yane Rekaha Nahi Yanrasama. Translation based and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. The personality of Godhead is He who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to Him. Purport. There are innumerable authoritative statements in Vedas regarding the personal feature of the absolute truth. Some of them are as follows. From Rik Samhita 122.20, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam sada pasyanti suraya diviva chakshur atatam. The personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is the absolute truth, whose lotus feet all the demigods are always eager to see. Like the sun god, he pervades everything by the rays of his energy. He appears impersonal to imperfect eyes. From Narayana Sira Upanishad 1-2, Narayana eva samutpadyate Narayana parveta Narayane praliyate atha nityo Narayana Narayana evadam sarvam yadbhutam. Everything Suddho Devo Eka Narayano Na Dityo Sti Kaschet. It is from Narayana only that everything is generated, by him that everything is maintained, and in him only that everything is annihilated. Therefore, Narayana is eternally existing. Everything that exists now or will be created in the future is nothing but Narayana, who is unadulterated deity. This is only Narayana and nothing else. From Narayana Upanishad 1-4, Yatha Parusta Jagat Prasuti. Narayana is the source from whom all universes emanate. From the Hiyasira Pancharatra, Paramatma Hare Deva. Hari is the Supreme Lord. From Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 34th and 35th verse. Narayana bhi dansya brahmana paramatmana nishtam arhato no vaktam yayam hi brahma vittama. O best of Brahmanas, please tell us the position of Narayana, who is also known as Brahman and Paramatma. Stiya ubheva pralaya hetur aheturasya yat swapna jagara susthesadbhischa deha nirdhyasya hridayeni charantiyena sanjivitani tad avehi paramam naradera. O king, know him who is causeless and yet is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He exists in the three states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, as well as beyond them. He envies, uh, enlivens the body, the senses, the breath of life, and the heart, and thus they move. Know him to be supreme. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful verse, and Srila Prabhupada has taken from various literatures. Basically Narayana is everything. He is pervading everywhere. He is, how he is like a uh, rising sun, and he is the creator, he is the maintainer, and he is the annihilator. So as we know how Narayana expands himself in various roles. So I think, basically that's what it is. Probably, please explain. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, look at the mastermind, Srila Prabhupada. So many these scriptures, these Upanishads, how much Prabhupada has done for all of us. You can just imagine, cannot even imagine actually. For all these verses, even just to find now with the day of internet and all this technology is very difficult. Prabhupada had everything here. That means he thoroughly studied all these scriptures and took so many references at the right point to help us kind of prove that fact that what the Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is sharing is also shared in so many other scriptures, Samhitas, Upanishads, Tantras, Bhagavatam, etc. That no one is equal to him, no one is superior to him. Krishna, Narayana, Vishnu. So some people say Vedas say this, Vedas say that, etc. But this is the essence of all Vedas, is to know the Supreme Person, the Purna Tattva, Nahi Yara Sama. He's a Purna, Supreme Personality of God, absolute truth. Any other comments? Yes. Okay. Yes, Mataji, you want to read? Mataji, you want to read them?
Yes, Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti yoge bhakta paya ya hara darshana surya yena savigraha dekhe devagana. Sorry, 1 second. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Through their service, devotees see that personality of Godhead, just as the denizens of heaven see the personality of the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has his eternal form, which cannot be seen by material eyes or mental speculation. Only by transcendental devotional service can we understand the transcendental form of the Lord. The comparison is made here to the qualifications for viewing the personal features of the sun god. The sun god is a person who, although not visible to our eyes, is seen from the higher planets by the demigods, whose eyes are suitable for seeing through the glaring sunshine that surrounds him. Every planet has its own atmosphere according to the influence of the arrangement of material nature. It is therefore necessary to have a particular type of bodily construction to reach a particular planet. The inhabitants of the earth may be able to reach the moon, but the inhabitants of heaven can reach even the fiery sphere called the sun. What is impossible for man on earth is easy for the demigods in heaven because of their different bodies. Similarly, to see the Supreme Lord, one must have the spiritual eyes of devotional service. The personality of Godhead is unapproachable by those who are habituated to speculation about the absolute truth in terms of experimental scientific thought, without reference to the transcendental vibration. The ascending approach to the absolute truth ends in the realization of impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma, but not the supreme transcendental personality. So, thank you, everyone.
Mataji got disconnected. So I'll just fill in for her. Very, very important line here. Bhakti yoga bhakta pai yanhara darshan. Which yoga? Bhakti yoga. Bhakta pai. There's 2 times the word bhakta or bhakti is come. In short, how can we get darshan? Pai means to receive. How can we receive the darshan of Krishna? Through bhakti yoga. And who can receive? Bhakta. Bhakta mam abhijananti. Bhakti yogena vidhanartham. Premanja Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, with the eyes of Bhakti, or whose eyes are anointed with Bhakti. Bhaktya Mama Vijananti. Man Mana Bhavamad Bhakta. So many verses, and practically the beauty of Prabhupada's purport, every verse will bring us to Bhakti, because this is the process in this day and age to render Bhakti Yoga. So, if you want to get darshan, like how demigods can see the sun very clearly, we can't see the sun, we see the effulgence, but demigods have that proximity. In short, the same, in a similar way, the Lord can be seen by a devotee, even though the devotee may be in the material world. So many times we have heard these pastimes, how a pure devotee always sees Krishna and is never separate from Krishna. Even Prabhupada also said this, was experiencing Krishna practically every moment. Any other comments anyone has? Okay, we'll move on to the next verse. Would someone like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
And then we'll pranam all devotees. Text 26. Jnana yoge marge tanere bhaje yahi sabha brahma atma rupe tanere kare anubhava. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Easy Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who walk the paths of knowledge and yoga worship only Him, for it is Him they perceive as a impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. Purport. Those who are fond of mental speculation, Jnana marga, or want to meditate in the mystic yoga to find the absolute truth, must approach the impersonal effulgence of the Lord and His partial representation respectively. Such persons cannot realize the eternal form of the Lord. So it is been repeatedly told in the Shastras that one can only experience the presence of Lord in the personal form only by Bhakti Yoga. But when one wants to apply his brain in a sense, wants to understand Sri Krishna by mental speculation, by using the material intelligence, then one can understand him as Lord is very much merciful. So he allows those devotees to understand him as an impersonal Brahman or the localized Paramatma, which is generally uh, compared to that of the light of the sun, in the example that Srila Prabhupada gives us. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Jnana Marga people, they do the impersonal Brahman. But are they worshipping someone else? No. They worship him only, but it's not the highest understanding. For example, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, those who worship the demigods, in one way they're worshipping me only, but avidhi purvaka, not the best way to worship Krishna. So, same with the impersonal Brahman, etc. Okay, let's see the next one, 27. Vaswati Mataji, you want to read this one?
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Text 27. উপাসনা বেদে জানি ঈশ্বর মহিমা অতএব সূর্য তার দিয়ে তো উপমা. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Thus one may understand the glories of the Lord through different modes of worship, as the analogy of the sun illustrates. So here in the translation, Prabhupada mentioned about different there are different ways to worship the Supreme Lord, and like Gyan Jog, Bhakti Jog, and Karma Jog, and there's the 3 yogas, and this is also an example or analogy also about the sun, like how the demigods can see the supreme effulgence of sun. That way they there is an analogy about these 2 facts. Please correct me if I
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay. Teacher. So the 3 understandings we have discussed. So Bhakti Yoga, one will understand the absolute truth as Bhagavan, and that analogy is compared to sun god, complete understanding. One level down, Ashtanga Yoga, meditation, tapa, all that stuff. They will understand absolute truth as Paramatma, the localized form. In the sun analogy, that's compared to sun planet. And then the one level further down, the Jnanis, mental speculators, they worship Krishna as impersonal Brahman, effulgence. That's the Brahman aspect. In the sun analogy, it's compared to the effulgence of the sun. So that's the sun analogy, and the 3 different types of worshippers: the Jnanis, the Ashtanga yogis, and the Bhaktas. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Sun rays, sun planet, and sun god. Any questions on that? Okay, text 28. Anyone wants to read this? Ramesh Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Text number 28. Sai Narayana Krishnera Swarupa Abheda Ekayai Vigraha Kintu Akara Vibheda. Translation. Narayana and Sri Krishna are the same personality of the Godhead, but although they are identical, their bodily features are different. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So, can anyone tell which expansions of the Lord they kind of fit in? We discussed the Prabhava and the Vilasa, right? We discussed a few days back. The Prakasha, what was that? The Prakasha and the Vilasa form. Yeah, the Prakasha and the Vilasa form. So the Narayana forms are considered as Vilasa forms. The expansions which are Akara Bheda. The bodily features are different. In the Prakasha, the Akara is also same. The bodily features are non-different. So the Tattva is the same. Although they are identical, the bodily features are different. So Vilasa Vigraha. In the Prakasha Vigraha or Prakasha forms, the body is identical. That's the difference. One last verse and then we'll move on to Bhagavatam. Yes, Lakshay Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 29. Inhata dvi bujja tinho dara sari hatha inho venu dhara tinho chakra dikka satha. Translation and purpose. This personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has 2 hands and holds a flute, whereas the other, Narayana, has 4 hands with conch, wheel, mace, and lotus. Narayan is identical to Sri Krishna. Their They are in fact the same person manifested differently. Like a high court judge who is differently situated in his office and at home. As Narayan, the Lord is manifested with 4 hands, but as Krishna, he is manifested with 2 hands. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very cool. Thank you, Akshay Prabhu. Can we manifest different forms, Lakshay Prabhu? Can you do at home different form and school different form?
No, Prabhuji.
So we can't do that because we are so. But Krishna can do that. But at least from we can understand that in home we have different clothes. I don't know if in US they have uniform in school, maybe not. But in India they have like a uniform in school, right? The things we can do at home we can't do at school and vice versa, right? Some of the things. Similarly, the Krishna, when he goes to office to take care of the material affairs, creation, and killing demons, etc., etc., then he expands in the Vishnu form, Narayana form, with four-handed form, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Chakra Adi Satha. Chakra means the chakra, the the wheel. Adi means etc. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Prabhupada is mentioning. The Shankha is the conch, chakra, the wheel, mace, Gada, club, and the Padma, lotus. So, and what does Krishna carry in his 2 hands? He holds a beautiful flute. He's busy just relishing Ananda. He gives the material side or the office work to Vishnu. Okay, you handle this department. I'll just play my flute. I'll just play with my cowherd friends, steal butter. You take care of killing of the demons, creation, maintenance, all these big things. Uh, like a big CEO, big owner of a very big company. What will he do? Will he go and see and try to get orders and pack material and ship material and billing and he doesn't do all that. His energies do. So if he has like say multiple business in multiple cities, he will just appoint maybe general managers or some presidents different. They will all work correct on his behalf as his energies. What will the CEO be doing, or the president or the owner of this company be doing? He'll just probably busy playing golf or playing, having fun with his family. That's what Krishna is busy having fun with his family, friends, doing different leelas, and the different energies are working under his direction. Maya Dhyakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. So that's a difference between the Supreme Lord in his different forms. Any other comments or questions in this text before we move to Bhagavatam? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.